Okay, in this video I want to talk about how to run regressions in Excel. You go to the Data tab, and in the Data tab there may or may not be something that says Data Analysis here. So if there is something that says Data Analysis, you click it and you go down and you find Regression, and you run a regression from there. And if it's not there, you have to put it there. So what you do is you go here to the Office button, click on Excel Options. Under Excel Options, click on Add-ins, and then we have add-ins that we can add. So I double-clicked on add-ins, and I want Analysis Tool Pack. Click that. Don't click OK. This is important. Don't click OK. Click Go. I'll click Go, and then I select. I have Solver add-in here too because I wanted that, and I want it for VBA. But you just need Analysis Tool Pack, and click OK. And then the data. Next time you go from Home to Data Analysis should show up. Now if it doesn't show up, close Excel, open it up again, but that should do it for you. Okay, so when I run a regression, go to Data Analysis, I come down to Regression, click OK, and this is real intuitive. Excel's going to want to have a Y value, so I'm doing beta here. So if I'm doing beta, my stock is the Y value. So I highlight, let's do Coca-Cola, I'll highlight one of those. And the question is, well, how much should I highlight? It depends on what you want to do. Let's go down to row 24. Is that right? I don't know. It depends on the specific application that you're doing. And for X, in this case, I want X to be, this is a market index value weighted. This is a market index equally weighted. Let's just choose this one. So whatever your application is, you have to have an X and a Y, and you have to know for the specific reason why it's X, why it's Y. Now I highlighted row 1 to row 24 for Y, so I have to have 1 to 24 for X. They have to match up. It has to be the same number. It means there has to be 24 of them. I could do 2 to 25. It doesn't have to be 1 to 24 for both. You just have to have 24 total bits of data for Y and 24 total bits of data for X. And since in the first row there is the label, I click here, it says label in the first row, and then I get to determine where I want the output. I'm going to put the output in a particular place, so I'll click here, click this little button like that, and I'm going to say I want the output right there. Click this button again, check and see that I have everything, click OK, and there's my regression. Okay, so this regression is somewhat meaningless because I did so few data points. But I just want to go through just a couple of things here. I'm going to format so I can look at better. This, for what I'm interested in this example, is this is my beta. This is alpha. My estimate, I should say, of alpha. This is my estimate of beta, minus 0.1739. The other thing, this is also the slope. Beta is the slope of the line. So I can use another function. In Excel, if I don't know what function I want to use, if I've never used it before, the best thing to do is go to Formulas, Insert Function, and just guess. Well, I'm going to calculate the slope, so I'm going to type in slope, type Go, and there's something called slope, so I'm going to click OK for that. And you can read about what that function is, and this is what we want to get the slope. So I put in the Y's, I use Coke, and I don't do the top, I don't do a label there. I'm going to go down to row 24, and then my known X's, I mean the same one, down to row 24, and click OK. And note that number matches up with that number. Okay, so I can do the same thing for intercept. The reason I may want to do the regression, the full regression, is because it gives me a lot more detail that we won't talk about in this video, but I may want to have the R squared, I may want to have this t-stat, the p-value, and all the other things. But if I'm just looking for the slope, I can just use the slope function, and now I can copy this down. If I want to copy this all the way to the bottom, I can just take the white cross, put it in the corner, make it a black cross, double click, and notice what happened. This is the slope using that data. And if I go down the page a little bit, that's the slope using that data. So what's happened is every time I copy down, a new bit of data adds and an old bit of data drops off, and I always have 23 data points, and that's running regression in Excel and using the slope function. And here from a finance application we found beta.